The art of being alone, a return to the source. The world is a marketplace of noise, a relentless theater where everyone is assigned a script before they have even learned to speak. From the moment you are born, the games begin. Your parents, your teachers, your society, they all want to turn you into a player. They want you to compete, to win, to achieve, and in that frantic race for more, you lose the only thing you ever truly possessed, yourself. I have never been interested in these games. Why? Because a game requires the other. To play, you need a partner or an opponent. You need a goal that lies outside of this present moment. But truth, beauty, and silence are not games. They do not require a crowd. They require only your total, unfragmented presence. The sacredness of solitude. People are afraid of being alone. They call it loneliness, but loneliness is a sickness of the mind. Loneliness means you are missing the other. Solitude, however, means you have finally found yourself. It is a state of being all one. When you are in solitude, you are not lonely, you are overflowing. You are so full of your own presence that there is no room for anyone else. In my childhood, I would sit for hours by the lake. The lake was silent, the lotuses were silent, and the white cranes flying across the sky were a part of that silence. Occasionally, a bird would cry out a love call, and for a moment, the peace would be disturbed. But listen closely, after the cry, the silence that follows is even deeper than before. The sound does not destroy the silence, it highlights it. This is the secret of a meditative life. Do not run away from the world to find silence. If your silence is so fragile that a bird's cry can break it, it is not silence at all, it is just a lack of noise. Real silence is like a deep ocean. On the surface, there may be waves and storms, but at the center, 1,000 miles down, nothing moves. The corruption of innocence. Society is a machine designed to destroy your innocence. They call it education, they call it culture, they call it religion. But these are just different names for the same process, the process of making you useful. A child is not useful to the marketplace. A child is a flower, a song, a dance. A child is a nuisance to the efficient machine of the state. So they begin to train you. They teach you to be clever because the innocent cannot be exploited. They teach you to be ambitious because the content cannot be controlled. A man who is happy with a piece of bread and the morning sun is a dangerous man. He cannot be bribed. But a man who wants a bigger house, a faster car, a higher title, he is a slave. You can lead him anywhere by dangling a carrot in front of his nose. To be exactly like Osho is to stop following. To be exactly like me is to realize that you are unique, and no one in the history of the universe has ever been like you, nor will anyone ever be. Therefore, there is no path to follow. You must walk, and as you walk, you create the path. The only way out is in. The motivational speakers of the West tell you to conquer the world. I tell you, the world is already yours, but you are not there to claim it. You are busy chasing shadows. You think that by changing your clothes, your job, or your partner, you will find peace. You are like a man trying to find his home by running faster in the wrong direction. Stop. Just for a moment, stop the games. Stop the ambition to be someone else. For 7 years of my childhood, I lived in a state where no one tried to corrupt me, where my silence was respected as a sacred duty. That foundation allowed me to see through the masks of the world. The greatest courage is not to fight a war or to climb a mountain. The greatest courage is to stand alone, to look into the mirror of your own soul, and to be content with what you see. Do not try to become a saint, just be natural. Do not try to be perfect, just be whole. The lotuses in the lake do not ask for permission to bloom. The white cranes do not ask for a map to fly. They live in accordance with their own nature. You too have a nature, a Tao, a Dhamma. But you have buried it under mountains of borrowed knowledge. The final rebellion. Life is not a problem to be solved, it is a mystery to be lived. And you can only live it if you are present. If you are thinking about the future, you are dead. If you are clinging to the past, you are dead. Only in the now, in the silent gap between two breaths, is there life. Be a rebel. Not a political rebel, for that is just another game of power. Be a spiritual rebel. Refuse to be a part of the madness. Find your lake, find your lotuses and sit. Not to achieve anything, but just to enjoy the sheer joy of breathing. When you are self-contained, the world no longer matters. You are the king of your own kingdom. And in that kingship, you will find a love that is not a call, but a radiation. You will find a light that does not come from the outside, but from the very core of your being. This is my message. I have never been interested in games. I am interested only in the player. And when the player disappears, only the play remains, the eternal dance of existence. For more insights into Osho's early life and philosophy, you can watch the full video here. The illusion of progress. The world is obsessed with the idea of progress. They want you to move from point A to point B. But in the dimension of the soul, there is no there. There is only here. This constant urge to go somewhere else is the root of all human misery. It is the fuel for the games that society plays. If you are satisfied with your silence, how can the priest sell you a heaven? If you are ecstatic with your own inner light, how can the politician promise you a utopia? They need you to be frustrated. They need you to be motivated by a sense of life. My childhood was golden not because I had everything, but because I lacked nothing. Sitting by that lake, watching the ripples of the water, I saw that the water does not try to be anything other than water. It reflects the moon perfectly because it has no ambition to be the moon. It is just a mirror. The mirror of consciousness. Your mind should be a mirror. A mirror reflects whatever passes before it, a beautiful woman, an ugly beggar, a cloud, a gutter, but the mirror remains unaffected. It does not cling to the beautiful, nor does it push away the ugly. It simply reflects. The games of the world are attempts to stain the mirror. Someone calls you a saint and you try to hold on to that reflection. Someone calls you a sinner and you try to rub the image off. In both cases, you have lost your mirror-like quality. You have become the image. To be a nobody means to remain the mirror. The burden of knowledge. You have been burdened with so much knowledge that you have lost your intelligence. Knowledge is always of the past, intelligence is of the present. Knowledge is what you have learned from others, intelligence is your own flowering. The world values the scholar, the pandit, the intellectual. These are people who have decorated their prison cells with beautiful words. They speak of love, but they have never loved. They speak of God, but they have never felt the throb of existence in their own hearts. They are like a man who studies a cookbook to satisfy his hunger. He may memorize every recipe, he may become a doctor of gastronomy, but he will die of starvation. I have never been interested in their books. I was interested in the lake. I was interested in the way the wind whispers through the ancient trees. I was interested in the way my own breath moves in and out of my body. This is the only real scripture. Everything else is just a commentary.